Jai Shri Krishna, welcome back. Today I'm looking at the Wisdom from the Epics of Hind Oracle set, doing a sort of a quasi-review of this set, if you will. So will you please join me in this episode? So I have previously done a review of an oracle set of Kali. Please check out that video if for no other reason than to find out my reasoning of why I use oracle cards even though I try not to have anything non-Sanatana Dharma, non-Hindu within my spiritual practice. So if you're not aware, every Sunday on my channel, I put up an oracle card with some wisdom for the week. And these are on my shorts page, so you're only going to see them here on YouTube. Currently, it's this deck, which I've been sharing. I talk about that in the previous video of why I do that and what I'm about and how I approach these because they are an outside thing. And why I do oracle cards but not like tarot cards. Anyways, I have a couple decks and I like them and I just thought I'd share them regardless of my feelings for this. A lot of you out there may use oracle cards or tarot cards, and so I thought a review would be really cool. If for no other reason than if you're interested in this, for whatever reason you are, you can see some of the cards. I'll share them with you here, which you may not have that opportunity elsewhere, or it may just be like on the back. So I'm going to share with you some decks. So today's deck I actually found at the store. I was there and I was looking and I almost passed by it because I had forgotten that the word Hind is another name for Bharat or India. I don't know, is it Hind or is it Hind, like Hindu? So is this wisdom from the epics of Hind? I have no idea. But I almost missed it until I looked at it. I thought, oh, that's kind of Indian. And then I saw her forehead. And then I looked at the back where it was saying that this is a set of 50 cards drawing on Indian stories, teachings, sutras, and legends, including the Ramayana and Mahabharata. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to get this. Because the only oracle decks I have, as I said in the last video, are Indian related or Hindu related. And even that, I won't do anything like yoga or generic stuff. It's got to be more traditional Hinduism. So as I said in the last video, and I'll say this before I get in the review, if you use oracle cards and you know of a deck of Hinduism in some way, shape, or form, or India, please let me know. I am happy to buy it, use it, and share it on this channel. Now, I said that in my last video, and I made note of a Ganesha deck I had seen at one point and ended up not buying. It was actually my goal. When I went back to the store, I was looking for that deck. They didn't have it anymore, so I bought this one. Well, after I did my last show, I got on Amazon, and I started poking around, and wow, there's like, not a lot, but a small handful of decks related to Hinduism. I was kind of shocked. They don't all go by the name of Oracle deck, though. A few of them, one of them calls itself the Dharma deck and an Enlightenment deck. So, you know, they're catering, I guess, to people like me who don't do Oracle cards. But, you know, like something handy like this that's like a study guide or a meditation or a contemplation tool. And that's what I talked about in the other video. I don't invest any spiritual energy into these. I don't draw any spiritual energy from these. When I read them, I don't attune to angels or anything else. They're just a tool, no different than a book. It's just something to use for contemplation and a way of connecting me to you and, you know, whatever. Anyways, let's go into my review of this deck. So, Wisdom deck here. It's got a book and a set of 50 cards. These are really, really cool. It was designed by Pankuri Argwal with artwork by Rahul Das. It's nice seeing someone who's within the tradition do something. That means there's respect, and it shows. Has a nice book, and the cards come underneath with a nice little thing here that you can pull them out with. There is quite a lot of stuff here. As it said on the back, they work from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. They're not just pulling from the Bhagavad Gita or things like that that we all know. There's quite a wealth of resources that have been used for these 50 cards, and I really appreciate that. So the way the cards are done, and I'll just talk about them a bit, just like my last video, and then I'll show you some, and then we'll look at the book and get into what they say. So the way the cards are done is 25 of them are men and 25 of them are women, and that's the way the book is done. Half the book is women, and then get to the other half, and it's men. Not that there's necessarily any difference, not saying one is better than the other, whatever, but you have women from these things, and then you have men. The artwork is very simple. It's very basic. It's very eye-catching. I'm not an artist, so I couldn't give you any sort of like, oh, well, that's a particular style. You'll just see when I show them to you in a bit. But I find them really interesting. It's some of the images draw me more than others, as often it is, but they're very colorful. They're very creative. They have I will say though, before I show them to you, that the Kali deck that I showed you in the last video, I think showed more diversity and creativity. There was one Kali card that I held up, and it was on detachment, and it showed her head separated from her neck. In these cards, I feel like a lot of them are just sort of kind of pictures. They're just, nice pictures, but there's nothing too interpretive in the image that gives you a strong reaction. They're just very, very basic. So there's a little bit of a lack of creativity here on some level. Let me just show you the cards, and we'll get in, and I'm just going to randomly go through these as I did before and pull things out that they're interesting. So each one is named after the guy or girl, and then we have a little bonus here. Sorry, man or woman, whatever. Then we have a little bonus. We have an emotion that's attached to it. So you get the story of this person, and then you get an emotion that they exhibited in the stories. And having read some of these stories, I will vouch for this. And I think there's even duplication of some people. So if like Arjuna had more than one emotion, he might have more than one card. Yes, that is, I am remembering it correctly. So sometimes we'll have multiple cards for one person. So there's not actually 50 different people here. These are out of order as I go through them because I've used them and I've made videos. So it's just very random. But here's a card for me which demonstrates what I just was talking about. This is very nice art. It's very simple. It's obviously photoshopped, but it has this line drawing feel. It may have been drawn by hand first and then given some Photoshop work. Here we have Mandodari's love. Yeah, she's sitting there. I guess she's exuding love. It's a nice image. Not necessarily anything that jumps out at you, though. I mean, I'm not feeling love. I'm just feeling a nice, pretty woman. So that's what I mean when I say lack of creativity. Then there's other things which are just creative, but they're hard to understand. Maybe you need to know about the person. So this is Karna's generosity. Let's see, the camera likes to go in and out of focus or whatever, but still, generosity, that looks like a ninja and fighting. So it's a little bit deceptive here, some of these things. But then we have some more abstract ones like Kubcha's transformation. Here's one, though, that's it's basic. And it might be because they're drawing from the writings. They're not trying to reinterpret them. But I don't know. Here's DT's desperation. Do you feel desperation when you see her? Not necessarily. That Let's see. Dasartha's Curse. Just a very basic image. The art is really good. Let's see. Annapurna's Nourishment. I know, this focus thing. I have it for a moment and then I lose it. Yeah, some of these are you need to know the story to get more out of it. Here is, but the diversity of people here, you'll learn a lot by using this deck. But because I don't know who this person is, probably from the Ramayana. Bagala Mukhi's Silence. Oh, sorry, here we go. Let's see, what else do we have? Dadhichi's Magnanimity. I can't pronounce that word. And that's actually a very nice picture. You'll notice the colors are all wide. Here is, we're going to show two actually at once. Urvashi's Rejection and Savitri's Wit. I do like the range of colors that each card gets. Let's see, what else do we have here that's an interesting one? Vishwamitra's Temptation. Look at that. That's two dancing women with sage Vishwamitra. Vitala's experience with a demon on his back, or probably an asura. Lakshmana's Revival. Here we have a nice one, but again, it doesn't give you much. This is Sita's Devotion. I mean, Sita from the Ramayana, I don't really feel much from that card. Let's see. Here's Vasudeva's Anguish and Urmila's Sleep. I mean, the art is really interesting. It's really, really interesting. There's this line drawing feeling to it. And all the images are very central. Here we go. I was looking for something. Here's another one. Sita's Protection. So we have now two of Sita. Very, very different. Let's see. What else do we got here? Satyavati's Shrewdness. It's a beautiful picture of a woman. I'm not sure if that shows shrewdness, though. Let's see. Or the cover one, Rukmini's Prayer. Here's an interesting one. Bharata's Integrity from the Ramayana, and the story of the slippers and worshipping the slippers. Yes, it's an image from the Ramayana, and it's a strong moment, but again, is that really the best way of showing integrity? You know, I don't know. Here, though, last two I want to show are Arjuna's Dilemma and Arjuna's Aim. And we all know Arjuna from the Bhagavad Gita. Find two very different images here of Arjuna in two different poses. So each card looks very different and has its own feeling. You know, there's nothing here that feels the same. You know, they have their own colors and dynamics. So that is a great thing with this deck. There's more that's actually great here. I just wanted to say the images themselves may not come at you, but the book, though, makes up for it. So every card gets a couple pages. So let's just go to, let's see. I said I didn't know who Bagalamukti Silence is. I don't know who this is. So we're going to look her. And the book's in alphabetical order. Men are on one side, women are on the other. There's a little introduction here that's really nice. It tells you how to begin, you know, how to read the cards a little bit, about the authors. So this is a really good book. It even shows you spreads, even though I don't do spreads. So you can treat these cards in your traditional way. I don't. See my previous video about why I don't. So let's just go here to Revenge. Sorry. Bagalamuki's silence. So what you get in each chapter, you just barely see, I'm sorry with the light, is a little story that tells about who this person is, and then there's questions to ask yourself, and then actions to take, and then a message. So there is a lot here to work from and to work with. And this is a great book. And you learn these gods at the same time, or these men and women, they're not all gods. So I'm just going to read this one to you. So Baglamuki's silence. Once there lived a demon called Madan. He had gained the power to bring to life all that he spoke. He misused his power and wreaked havoc on innocent people. Goddess Baglamuki appeared when people prayed for a solution. She paralyzed Madan by grabbing him by the tongue. She then killed him, thus bringing peace to her people. Her name originates from the root word valga, which means to bridle one's tongue. It is said she was born from a yellow river and has turmeric skin with golden hair. My only response to that is that's a nice little story. You don't even have to read the story necessarily, but it gives you a little background. But what book is she from? Is this from the Ramayana? Is this from a sutra? I don't know who this is. So if I want to find out who this is, I don't have any. I don't know what to do. Let's see. I'm just going to look. Here's one talking about Sita's devotion. It says when her husband, Lord Rama. Well, you would have to know that's the Ramayana. They don't tell where. Let's see. Does it talk about Arjuna? Arjuna's dilemma on the first morning of the Mahabharata war, Lord Krishna, yada yada. Yeah, it doesn't tell where, and I wish it had, because for someone like me who really loves the scriptures, I want to find out more. I mean, yeah, you can get on Google, I guess. Okay, so now let's move on. So after you get the little story, then you get questions to ask yourself that are somewhat related to that story, or the essence of this, or really the silence part more than the character. So the story is related to the character, and then from the character we splinter off into these emotions for us to pontificate upon. So questions to ask yourself. What are the words that you use most frequently in your life? What are the words you use about yourself? Do you choose kind and or powerful words for yourself? What kind of language do you use when you think? Do you realize it might be shaping your reality? Okay, there's a lot there to contemplate. Then actions to take. This is where books like this, we're all different. I often disagree with these actions, so I actually ignore that. The questions to ask yourself, though, I find very instructive. The actions to take, but that's just me. This is just my bias. But I'll read them anyways. There's 5 of them here. And it looks like 5 is sort of the 4 on this one. 4, 5. So each chapter is sort of, about the same length. It says 1, watch what you say. Words are powerful. You become what you think and say. 2, spend some time in complete silence every day. It helps restore energy and peace. 3, control your temper and expression on social media. They may not know who you are, but you know who you are. True. 4, do this tongue exercise every day to improve concentration and clarity in speech. It also helps regulate appetite. Sit with your spine comfortable but straight. Roll your tongue inwards until the tip of your tongue touches the back of your throat. It is difficult at first, but proceed slowly, taking it only as far back as it is comfortable for you. Stay in this state for as long as you comfortably can. I can't really do that, but I'm guessing that's sort of maybe a yoga thing. 5, use a pinch of turmeric in warm water to gargle your throat in the morning to keep your throat healthy. Avoid excess use of turmeric as it can have adverse effects. That's an Ayurvedic thing. And actually, that's wrong. I love turmeric. I use it on everything, and I use a lot of it. And I actually have a book just on turmeric. And it is one of the few herbs, whatever, spices that you actually can't overdose on. They've never found an overdose. Never. I mean, others, yes, you can overdose on a lot of things. Nutmeg will put you in the hospital, but not turmeric. It is very, very rare. As for excess use of it having adverse effects, no, it is a very, very unique thing. So that's wrong. That's a side though. But I think we have some Ayurvedic here, we have some yoga, and then we have some really basic stuff. Some of the actions to take are, might be very helpful to you. Then we end with a message, and there's usually just a few points. This has three little points, 4. It says, your powers are increasing as you speak with conviction. 2. Your words have the power to heal or destroy. Speak with love. And the last one, your golden period is about to begin. Your choice of words, thoughts, and actions decide how well you live when the golden phase ends. I don't know what that golden phase is. That's sort of a new agey thing. I mean, I don't really know. But that's what you get with this book, and there's a lot of stuff here to contemplate on. Let's do another one. I've got a stack of cards just sitting here because I threw them all down. So I just want to grab... That was a man. That was a woman. Let's go for a man. Here is, Ilvala's hatred. So I don't know who Ilvala is. Either, I'm guessing, Ramayana or Mahabharata. Ilvala. Is that Ramayana? I get the names confused. But let's look him up. We'll find out in a minute, I'm sure. Or I can maybe figure it out. Ilvala's hatred. Yes, I think it is Ramayana, now that I think about it. Either, book 3 or 4? So it says, Ilvala and Vatapi were 2 demon brothers. Ilvala knew the secret of bringing the dead back to life. Vatapi had the power to transform himself into any living being. Yes, this is from the Ramayana. I have read this. Ilvala once hosted a great sage so that he could ask him for a boon. When the sage refused, Ilvala developed a deep hatred for all sages, hermits, and wise men. Because of this, the brothers would invite sages to their house and kill them. When sages visited them, Vatapi would disguise himself as a goat, and Ilvala would serve the goat's meat to them. Once the sages had eaten, Ilvala would call out to his brother and bring him back to life. Vatapi would then tear out the stomachs of the sages from within them and emerge unharmed. Their heinous act continued for a while until the 2 brothers invited sage Agasthyar. Before Ilvala could call out to Vatapi, the sage digested him quickly and then incinerated Ilvala through the powers of his meditation. I am wrong. This is not the Ramayana. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 6. Am I right? Yeah, I think I'm right. Canto 6 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's not the Ramayana, I'm sorry. There's a lot of stories within the Ramayana. That's why I went there. Yeah, there's a lot of stories within it, and that's why I went there first, but I'm wrong. This is Canto 6 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the last book I read, matter of fact, so I should have remembered this. It was a crazy story, though. Anyways, that's the story of them. Wish we'd have the reference, but I figured it out. So then, questions to ask yourself. Is there anyone or anything that you hate? Why do you hate this person or thing? What can you do to release yourself of this hatred? Great questions. Actions to take. There's only 3 of them this time. Discontinue the word hate or hatred and replace it with dislike. Hatred is a strong, negative, and destructive emotion, while dislike is simply an opinion. No, I think hatred, you can hate something that's pretty much your opinion. I mean, right? If it's not an opinion, then so it's an emotion, but also dislike can be I can dislike something and be emotional. So I disagree with that. But number 2, if your immunity is low, work on letting go of resentments that are keeping you unwell. Also take dietary steps to improve nutrition and immunity. That's Ayurvedic thinking. That's right out of Ayurvedic thinking. Most of us would not say, "Doctor, I hate my coworker, so I think I'll just lessen the hate, and I won't need the medicine you give me." So this is Ayurvedic thinking. And the last one is eat only home cooked meals for the next few weeks. Well, that saves your banking account, but that's also Ayurvedic. So there's a mix here of modern and old. And I want to look more through this book and see what else other things have here in a second. So then the last part is message. You can only hate someone else if you don't love yourself enough. Self-love leaves no room for hatred towards others. True. You can come back from hatred as soon as you choose to do so. You are worth so much more than being a vessel for hate. I say this all the time on my show, people. If you're a hateful person, you're living in hate, and you hate this person, you hate Christians, and you hate these transphobes and these bigots and whatever, it's not doing you any good. You're literally ruining your own health. Stop the hate. Don't be a vessel for hate. Anyways, I'm a little iffy on the actions to take, and I think some of the creativity on the images could be better. Because, well, this one's Urvashi's rejection. How do we do? Does that look like rejection to you? No. And I wish we cited our sources so we could research more. But these are minor things. I think this is a very nice deck. I really like the questions to ask yourself and the message, though. I really like those, and that's actually been an inspiration for me when I'm making the videos that I put on my channel. And I like the fact that they give you a couple spreads at the end. I am curious, though. Let's take a look at some of these other actions to take. I want to see... yeah, they're... So this one is like, recite the affirmation, I respect myself and others 40 times every day for at least 40 days. That's a lot. Before making a decision, take a deep breath and sit in silence. Let the answers come to you instead of rushing them. Don't let rivalry make you cruel and blind to the plight of another. Step away from being a victim by standing up for yourself. Before bedtime, ask the universe for help. Well, no, ask the Hindu gods for help, right? I don't ask just, universe, help me. I ask a particular god, Lakshmi, please help me. So it's almost like there's a mix of things here. Personally, I would probably find those like the hardest part to write. I know if I was writing this, here's one that's this one's Kali's Awakening. I don't know where the card is, so I can't show it to you. Very typical Kali image, though. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I saw it here a second ago. Don't know where it's gone now. But it's the actions to take are: go for a full body detox, reduce alcohol, reach out to your partner or loved one and ask for their help to cope with your anger. Make family aware that you might be angry, but it is not personal. Reduce the intensity of your physical exercise. Most people I know who exercise, really, they usually increase it when they get angry. They don't decrease it, because it actually does help. Here's an interesting one. Yeah, no, I ain't gonna find this card. This is wake up before sunrise and wet your back. Sit with your back to the rising sun to absorb all of its goodness directly into your spine. I don't know where that's from. Could be a yogic thing. I don't know. Smile more often. It produces feel-good hormones. See, that's okay. Every day before sleeping, think about the loveliest thing that can happen that day and let it put a smile on your face as you drift off to sleep and then have nightmares. That's my world. Offer a pot of water to the sun god, you mean Surya? Pour water from a vessel into another while chanting Om Suryaye Namaha and leave that vessel out for birds to drink from. Yeah, see, if I pour water from one thing to another, I don't want to offer it to birds. I want to put it on my shrine. So it's sort of like it's getting away from Hinduism here. But again, the messages are really good. Actually, let's look at some of the messages before I close this video. I'm trying to give you a good view of this book. So if you're interested in it, You've spent a worthwhile 30 minutes with me. Choose kindness over everything else. Work on your self-esteem. It will elevate you to a more fulfilling life. Yeah, totally. Totally agree with that. You are a strong person. Let your strength become visible to you. You will be set free by reducing your want of material things. Yeah. Focus on the love you feel within you for yourself and for your loved one. You will find that it is enough. Totally true. Do not act on an impulse. You will regret it. Learn from the mistakes of your past. You are being given a chance to change your future for the better. Yeah, totally great. You are specially gifted. You have the spirit of a warrior. Don't give up. The more you practice, the closer you are to winning. Yeah, I mean, I think that's some good stuff. I should probably do the questions to ask yourself. Just get a few more of those out. Do you believe your health will get better? Are you taking the right steps to heal yourself? Are you willing to be responsible for your own well-being? See, I like open-ended things like that where we can contemplate. Have you been upset with people because you've presumed the worst? Do you give others a chance to explain before you cut them out of your life? Are you willing to hear others' versions of the truth? I literally know someone who will end the conversation anytime he hears something that will disagree with him or will force him to reconsider. He literally cuts off conversations. Why? I don't know, because he's actually a very curious person. Are you taking things too personally and feeling victimized? Do you practice good self-control? Do you feel that you are an honorable person? Do you often fear rejection? Yeah, see, that's good stuff. I like that. I like that. Do you find yourself beautiful? Do you accept compliments gracefully? Do you accept people when they appreciate you? Do you love yourself and your body exactly how it is? You know what? I think that's given you a good overview of this deck, the legend, the wisdom from the epics of Hind, Hund, I don't know. It is a nice deck. The book makes up for where the cards maybe lack in some creativity. That's just my opinion. It's the first Oracle deck I've ever had. I will confess that. And, you know, I don't think anyone who's gone to this extent is bad. If you've taken time to create something like this, you know, I do applaud the work. I have always wanted to create a tarot deck or a Oracle deck. I just don't have the time or the artistic skills, and I don't know what it would be. So I'm a little bit jealous of anyone who does one of these. I had a friend who did one. It was Greek mythology with a real overdose of homoerotic and gay stuff, because he was gay. And he used Photoshop and cut and paste images from, like, he would get books of museum exhibits and scan the, you know, the naked statue of David and then cut it out and then stick it with a picture of a dildo or whatever. But, and that sounds raunchy, but he did 3 years worth of research to do this tarot deck, owned every book you could probably think of Roman mythology. He studied Roman mythology, and he wanted, you know how tarot decks, each card has its own meaning and tons of other meanings and symbolism. He wanted every symbol you could get on that card. And it was a little overdose, and the images were often just incoherent collages. But, you know, 3 years to work on that, and it never got published. He sent the cards off to Thailand, and they made them really big, which is fine. But they thought they were Christmas tree decorations. So they'd take a card and they'd put it in this metal frame with a hook on the top. I mean, it was so heavy it wouldn't hang on anything. And it was really sad because this guy, his name's Terry Stark, matter of fact, he was a dancer in Indonesia for many, many years, and I think may have a reputation there still, because he was the first Caucasian to dance Indonesian dance. Well, Terry died from AIDS. This was quite some years ago, and so they never were able to fix the cards, and his brother let the project go. But it was really sad because he'd spent all these years doing it. So I really do applaud anyone who does this, even if I don't necessarily think you know, it's perfect. So, yeah, that being said, and I just misplaced the book. Oh, there it is, right behind me, along with my keyboard. Thank you for joining me on this. I will do more, um, get the book off the floor. I will do more reviews of Oracle decks as I buy them. I have another one I put in my Amazon basket, which I'm interested in getting. Um, and, you know, if you have something that you'd like to see, let me know. And I'm more than happy to pick it up and review it and share it with you so you can see. And this way, if you go to the store, you're not buying something sight unseen. Because these things aren't necessarily cheap, and you don't necessarily want to put down 20 bucks for something you don't want. I understand. I'm like that. So here you go. Thank you for joining me on this, and check out my other one on the Kali um, one and the Kali Oracle, and yeah, check out all the other videos on my channel too. And thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you the best in your spiritual journey, whatever it might be. Thank you for hanging out with me for this last half hour. Namaste. I will check you out later. Jai Shri Krishna.